Well, welcome in, everybody. Welcome into the second episode of the Ghostly Tales podcast. Today, my special guest is Anthony Ghost Guy. We're going to talk to him and see what got him into the paranormal and answer all that. It's hard to hear me. It's hard to hear. Hold on. Is that better? Is that better? Is that Tibeta? I don't know why my shit. All my sudden my shit changed. Like I hate a little bit. I mean, I can turn myself up more. Meow. How's that? And then I can turn my. How's that? That better? Hey everybody, what's up? It's Sin just in case. What's up, everybody? All right, let me pull Anthony back in. Welcome to episode 2 of Ghostly Tales. I really look forward to talking to Anthony and seeing what got him in here. Let's get him in and around. Okay, we're getting this in.
Hello.
Hey, you gotta turn your camera back on for me. Okay. So, yeah, man, my bad. I'm still trying to get used to the Discord and the audio and pulling everything over to make it look good. And
it's fine.
All right, Anthony. Well, I know you. I appreciate you coming on my podcast to talk about everything paranormal. I'll try to. This is going to be the first time I think we actually kept it paranormal. You know, we'll slide some bullshit in there. So why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm Anthony, Ghost Guy, and I spend a lot of time in cemeteries. That's kind of my thing. Just kind of communicating with the spirits that are wandering around there and doing all.
Big Dub Screech, thank you for the 10 gifted, baby. No, I'm listening. I know, I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm listening.
All right. So yeah. So pretty much cemetery guy. I spend a lot of time in cemeteries, communicating with spirits there, all that kind of stuff. I've been doing this for only like 2 years.
Yeah.
And it started with just kind of putting some stuff on Instagram.
Okay.
And then slowly kind of got into the whole TikTok world and started getting more experience. I think that's what happened. They get more experience, you get some more ideas, you get some equipment, and then the investigations get better. And that's about it. Like,
all right. So I got a bunch of questions I'm gonna dive into. First, I kind of want to know is what was your first paranormal experience and how did that kind of shape your perception on the paranormal field?
So I think like my very first one was when I was like a kid, right? So we lived in this old house, and I remember kind of saying to my mom one night, I kind of was like, I heard like someone talking, I heard voices, and she's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, I was in my room and I heard some voices, and because she was like super religious, she was like, "That's demons. That's demons. That is Satan. And if it's not Satan, then God wants you to be a priest." I'm like, "What the actual F is going on? Like, what are you talking about?" So I kind of squelched it for a little bit.
Okay. How old were you at that time?
For a lot of it. I shouldn't say like my life. I just kind of like put it to the side. And then you kind of get older, right? And I kind of was like, there's got to be more. There's got to be more to life than just like going to work, paying some bills, hopefully having some money to get some, whoppers and stuff.
Okay.
And I just that kind of interest in the paranormal was kind of like nipping at me a little bit. And then started watching TV, and your man Zach Bagans was like, I'm like, all right, he's doing it. But he's doing a little. He's kind of. This is kind of crazy. He's running. Shit's knocking him down. Like,
right. That's my man's. That's my man, Zach Bagels.
I know that's your man's. That's your man. So I'm like, all right, that's good. I'm like, that's a little much. Like, that's good, but is that what the paranormal is like, right? And then honestly, I watched Kindred Spirits with Adam Berry, and he was a little more gentler, I guess, more like trying to help people, I guess, through the paranormal.
Okay.
I was like, wait, that's kind of cool. So I was like, but no one's gonna invite me to their house. Like, how do I get into the paranormal? No one's gonna be like, hey, Anthony, come find out why someone's talking to me.
Okay.
I reached out to Amanda Paulson, also known as Pretty Effing Spooky, on like Instagram. And I was like, I'm like, here's my story. And she honestly was like, grab a notebook and your phone and go to a cemetery. I was like, what? Shit, just write down how you feel, see if you pick anything up on your phone. I was like, all right. And that's kind of how the whole cemetery thing began for me.
Nice, nice. So, what are your do you? I'm assuming you do this, and you actually, I'm assuming you believe in spirits and ghosts. If you do, why? Like, what are your thoughts on it? Like, what do you think happens after we pass away?
After we pass, so obviously I believe in spirits, right?
Yeah.
Because but there are people I think who don't that do this. But that's a whole nother thing.
I mean, you can
I,
be, you can do it as, you can do a paranormal investigator and be in a whole debunking mode and not believe anything.
yeah, like but um, so so things change, right? So I think kind of what happens is we have free will. So my whole thought on how we are as beings, right? So we're not humans with a spirit, right? We're spirits going through a human experience, and I got that from Dustin Perry just before anyone's like, "Oh, content." Dustin, he's plagiarizing shit. And when Dustin Perry said that, I was like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense, right? Like we're spirits with a human body.
Yeah.
So, so everything that goes along with that, I think, happens. So I think when we're done with this, when our body kicks out, we still have that free will. Now, I don't want to get into like heaven, hell, all that. I mean, that's for everyone to decide. But I don't think spirits are stuck. I don't think spirits are being punished. I think they're just doing what they want to do. Like if I pass and I know where my kid lives, I'm going to hang out at his house, see what he's doing.
True. We have Nocturnal Painter said, Anthony, hi, ghosty bestie. I don't know who that is.
Ghosty bestie. You know that's Sarah right there. I don't know.
Oh, is it Sarah?
I don't know if I'm doxing people by saying that. But.
Well, I mean,
What's up, Ghosty bestie?
You got Sins in here. It's Sarah. I saw Sins in here in the chat saying hi.
The crew is pulling up.
If you guys have any questions from my man Anthony in between, I can make sure like try to read chat all at once.
Yeah.
So what are you said you've been doing this for about 2 years, right?
Yeah.
So what in those 2 years, what do you think would be some of your most compelling pieces of evidence you encountered?
Oh, you know what I'm going to talk about. You know where we're going. You know where we're going. Why did you even ask the question? Why would you just like, so tell me about the Lizzie Borden house?
No, let's talk about the Lizzie Borden house because that's where you've got your most compelling evidence. So let's go ahead and talk about it.
That's really where I got like kind of slapped in the face with the paranormal. And the reason I say that is because like I got some good stuff. Like I don't know how much I can swear, so I don't want to get you like
kick. You can, as long as you're not. Yeah, you can swear on kick. Fuck. It's not. This is not TikTok.
All right. Okay. Wow.
Don't be too crazy.
Look at you.
Yeah.
All right. So, because people are going to be like, does he have a stutter or what? But I'm just trying not to swear. So, anyways, so I got some good shit in cemeteries. I think I got some compelling stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I think what happened at the Lizzie Borden house after my first visit, everything that happened after that, and then when I went back, that's what really got me, and that's what really got me rethinking some things in the paranormal, and really being like, all right, there's something to the paranormal. So the first visit was the tour, right? Like you know the story, but I just did I want to get to someplace haunted. I was in the paranormal. I've been wandering around cemeteries. I'm like, I want to get in somewhere. Lizzie Borden is 45 minutes away. Let's go. Okay. So I paid the $30 and I do the tour. And within that tour, they give a lot of new information, right? So we won't go through the whole tour, but they give a lot of new information. Okay. And at the end of it, I was standing in the kitchen and the guide is like, so does anyone think anything differently about Lizzie Borden now that we did the tour? And people are like, no, she still did it. And some people are like, oh, I think the sister did it. And I turned to my wife and I wasn't going to be like, hey, pick me, to the guy or whatever. Hey, I got something to say. So I turned to my wife and I'm like, you know what? I think John did it. I think this uncle got sick of Mr. Borden being a pervert and came here and took care of him. And she's like, oh, that's kind of cool. You should tell the guy. I'm like, no. I just want to get a t-shirt and get out of here.
Get the t-shirt. It says you survived Lizzie Borden. Get the merch.
I want my merch and I want to get out of here. I'm like, no one wants to hear what I have to say, right? So I grab my Lizzie Borden shirt. We drive home. I go to sleep that night. And now everyone has said different things, but it usually comes to this astral projection thing or something. I don't know if I'm saying it right. But I have this thing where I'm in her room. Like I open my eyes. Her headboard is the headboard. I can smell the room. Like I'm in the room. Freaks me the fuck out, and I wake up or get out of whatever happened. Like I don't even remember really waking up. I just remember kind of freaking out. And the next day, like, man, that was really weird. So some coincidences after that, which I'm not gonna like little things happen. I went to see Cody
Happened
and
at your house after you went there?
no, no, so nothing really happened in my house yet. It
Okay.
happened, so that happened, and about 2 months later, I went to Cody and Satori. We're having like this thing, like look at our haunted objects.
Okay.
So I go there, and my wife is like, "Hey, look over there." I'm like, "What?" She goes, "That woman was the woman who was on Kindred Spirits when they went to the Lizzie Borden house." I'm like, "Get the fuck out!" And I look, and it's her. So I'm like, "Oh man, that's really messed up." So now I'm talking to the woman next to me, who just I've never met her in my life,
Okay.
and we're just talking. She's like, "Oh, I can't go to work. I can't wait to go to work tomorrow and tell them about all this spooky stuff." I said, "Oh, well, where I work, some people be like, eh." I go, "Where do you work?" She goes, "Oh, I work at the Lizzie Borden house." I'm
Yeah.
like,
It's like
get out,
fate, bro. It's like fate. Fate has
right?
fate has brought her into your life.
Exactly. So I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of weird. So then 3 months later, like now, like December. So now I visited the Lizzie Borden house in the summer. So this first thing with the woman who worked there, that was like the fall. Now it's like December during Christmas time. I go see Destin Perry give a talk. The guy in front of me has a Lizzie Borden hat on.
Mm-hmm. Yo,
I'm like, what the?
yo, so many like
Yeah,
funny coincidental like things. It's just like
crazy things.
yeah.
So now I'm like, all right. So now it's like the following year. Now in October, so Happy New Year, blah blah. October, we go to Connecticut, visiting some spooky places in Connecticut. I go to the Connecticut Valley Hospital.
This past
And
October?
it was October. Yeah, this
This
like
past oh,
October.
gotcha.
And they had this thing with all the patients who were at the Connecticut Valley Hospital. They found their graves, and they want them memorialized. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I zone in. What name do I see? Lizzie Borden. Out of all these thousand names, now it wasn't obviously the same Lizzie Borden,
But still, like just even
right?
seeing that name is like over and over again, you're getting like these weird coincidences.
So I'm like, what is going on? So now you have that story. Birthday time comes. Birthday. My wife is like, I got your present. I'm like, oh, you didn't have to do that. And she's like, we're going to the Lizzie Borden ghost hunt. I'm like, what?
Yo, that's
So
great.
now go back to the Lizzie Borden house for a ghost hunt. Now we're in the parlor of the home, right?
Okay.
So in the parlor of the home, we have 4 EMFs.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I just said EMF. That didn't make any sense. We have 4K2s,
4
right?
EMF detectors. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have four K2s sitting there, all on green,
Okay.
just chilling. We
Just
have a
chilling.
couple on the floor. She has a couple on the fucking mantle. She has one on the like by a lamp. Two cat balls on the ground, and a bell, like the dead bell.
Yeah.
All right. So now picture all that, right? That's a lot of like equipment.
A lot of shit.
That's a lot of shit in one room. So I'm telling her the story because we're not getting really like a lot of activity.
Mhm.
And she's like, "Wow, that's a crazy story." I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "I have an idea. What? Let's do this." I'm like, "All right." She goes, and she's a paranormal investigator, the one that does like the tour, right?
Okay.
So she's like, Miss. She goes, now in the parlor, supposedly is Mrs. Borden, right? So she's like, Mrs. Borden, if you're in the parlor with us or any of the Bordens, are you happy to see Anthony? I shit you not. Every piece of equipment goes off. The cat balls start lighting up. All the K2s go to red. The dead bell is like bing, bing, bing. I'm like, what
What
the
the
fuck?
fuck,
And she's like,
bro?
what is going on? And like the people there, they're like, how did you do that? She goes, I can't control any of this equipment. She goes, I honestly cannot control any of this. Like, there's no way for me to have that happen.
That's wild.
Dude. So for me, that was kind of like, okay. And then we went into the basement
The basement.
and the basement.
The basement,
And that's when
baby.
we're down in the basement and I go into the corner and all of a sudden I get like hit in the head. Well, what felt like a bad, like right on top of the head.
So it honestly, so it felt like like someone like punched you, like you felt it like that, or was it this pain that came up over time? Like it honestly felt like you're
No,
getting punched.
it felt like an object hit me in the head, like some kind of blunt object, if you will. And I'm like, oh. And the guide is like, I told you not to go in that corner, but you were like, I'm going to go in that corner because she did. She's like, there's something bad in that corner. Every time I go in that corner, a spirit tells me to go fuck myself, get out of here. She's like, don't go in that corner. I'm like, can I go in the corner? She's like, you can, but whatever happens, she goes, seriously, I'm not taking, like, it's not a good corner. So I tell our friend Mary that story from Unknown Project. And
Yeah, no
she's like,
project. Yep, Mary.
yeah. And she's like, why don't you look where they found the axe? Like, maybe look that up, like where they found that in the home.
Okay.
Looked it up, and guess where they found the axe?
In the corner of
Well,
that
the hatch.
basement.
Yes. Yep.
So you went into a corner of the basement where you were told not to go.
Yeah.
Felt an axe type thing in the back of your head. Come to find out, an object. That's fine. It felt like you were to get hit in the back of the head by something.
Yep.
And how coincidental it happens to be that that's where they found the blunt object that did all did all the stuff. You know what I mean?
What's up? And then doing like a further thing, going back to Adam Berry, I'm like, all right, I'm going to watch his episode. His conclusion with Chip Coffee is that's where Mr. Borden stays.
So you think that bottom of the basement in that area is where Mr. Borden's, evil entity-ish spirit resides.
And if it was Mr. Borden, him probably being like, hey, you want to come here and talk about me getting hit in the head? How do you like it?
How do you like it? Sarah said that she has solely missed us seeing us boys together.
Who doesn't?
I know, right? It's just like a glove that slides right back on. So
okay.
All right. This slides right on.
It just slides.
It's like a glove.
Just slides. Just slides.
Just slides. So that wasn't really that's what I remember you talking about that before, and that's what Sin said. That's what she said.
Here we go.
I remember you talking about that's what kind of really that experience really shaped how you feel and how you look at the paranormal now, didn't it?
No, it really did, because I was kind of was on the thing where like, oh, spirits aren't really mean. That's what Zach, honestly, like, oh, that's a Zach Bagans thing. Then I got Zach Bagans at the board house.
You got Zach Bageled.
I got Zach Bagans right off the head.
Right off the fucking head.
And things about like spirit, like all that kind of, like, and that's what kind of changed it. That, you know what, they can be spirits that are out to get you, evil, like not even evil, trying to make a point that they will touch you, they will fuck with you. If you're told not to go somewhere and you want to be Joe Badass and be like, oh, I'm gonna go in there, look at me, that spirit might be like, all right, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out now,
Yeah, I definitely think people like to use the demonic term too much when it gets to be like, an evil presence, someone who was a dick in life, a dick, like,
right.
We talked about that before.
Dick in death.
So how do you think like your understanding of the paranormal has evolved since you really deep dived into this? I got questions, baby. Hey, this isn't 90-10. Like, I can get real deal into it.
You're getting deep. You're getting deep. Well, Matt, how it's evolved is no, so I think a lot has changed. Like, I really think that spirits can mess with you. Spirits can touch you. I'm still not possessions.
Yeah. I don't
Although, I say that, but there can be a channeling. There can be like a channeling thing. I was on a live. I decided to do a 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. live on TikTok one night.
1 a.m.
And 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. The people wanted it. I give the people what they want. So I'm on this live, and it was like nothing was really happening. Like, they're gonna talk up, they're gonna laugh, but nothing was really happening. Like I had the cat balls out, I had Ouija boards out, I was pulling out, and nothing was really happening.
Oh,
And then all of a sudden,
yeah.
I
Sarah
got
said it
like,
was wild.
huh?
Sarah just said it was wild.
Yeah, wait till you get right.
Okay.
So we're doing our thing, and everyone, because there was no really paranormal stuff happening. So everyone, and all of a sudden, I kind of got like locked in, and also I could kind of see the chat being like, "Anthony, what's going on? Anthony, where? Anthony, are you frozen? Like, Anthony, what's going on?" All of a sudden, I'm like, "You want to fuck?" I said, "You want to fuck around and find out?" And I don't remember saying it. I said it, and right when I said that, a doll that I had got thrown.
What like when you say thrown, do you mean like
Like,
plopped over or like
flopped over. Yeah,
the oh
like
flopped
just
over?
like plopped.
Plopped over. Okay.
Yeah. And then everyone was like, "Anthony, what the fuck just happened?" I'm like, I don't like I knew, like I'm not gonna say I was like out of it, but I was like really
Knocked
zoned
over.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, like knocked over. I was like really zoned in, so I knew everything that was happening, but I knew I wasn't myself, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And according to some mediums, that's like deep channeling. That's like when a spirit is trying to get you to like be
So
them. Like it's not possession, it's more like channeling.
you want to fuck around?
You want to fuck around? That's what I said. You want to fuck around?
I'm surprised TikTok didn't ban you for saying fucked around because TikTok bans you for anything.
Listen,
Not on Kick streaming though. Not on fucking Kick.
not on kick.
Woo! Hey, just so you know, you are my first like official partner stream.
That's right. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, all right, go back to the Don knocked over. What else happened? Sorry,
No, that was it. That was the story.
that was it. The dog got knocked. Oh, you said let's fuck around and find out, and then Don went.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm like, yeah, and the thing went poop, and I was like, guys, what the fuck just happened? And they were like, what the fuck just happened? I was like, I don't know. And then we laughed about it, and then
So that sounds like. So you think that your house has a spirit?
I think any house has a spirit.
Now, is this like drapes are moving and nothing's moving spirit, or think like obviously the doll knocked over, so that was so you have a spirit that actually likes to do things, you know, not just being filmed.
But I think that could have just been a spirit who's. So I kind of think what I do, I guess, is the best way to do it. Is I believe any place is haunted. I think right now, if you wanted to, you could turn on a piece of device. I could put on, and we could get someone to talk to us.
You think so?
We could 100%. If you turn on a REM pod right now in your house, while we're doing this, we could get a spirit to come in and touch that.
You think a Spears is floating down 465 down southbound right now? And I'm gonna say, yo, come on over.
I think what happens is it's like a modern seance, right? Like the seances way back, everyone holds hands and then they would bring a spirit in. I think if you open yourself up to that, if you're like, hey, I want to communicate, if you just say out loud, like if I say right now, if there are any spirits that want to communicate, please communicate. I think that just goes out to the universe and they just come in your house and you can communicate with them.
So why do you think though why do you think then we can go to certain places and get nothing like that are supposedly haunted?
Because fuckers are asking the same goddamn question.
So you just think it's how
Boredom.
people do it.
Right. I think it's the person's energy that's going in. If you're going in there, if you're going into Waverly saying, "Oh, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that," I've never been to Waverly, so you know what? I'll talk about Lizzie Borden.
I
You
have.
have. If I go to like all my experiences with Lizzie, I just go in like, "Hey, what's going to happen is going to happen." I'm not like, "I want to talk to Lizzie. I want to talk to Lizzie. I want to talk to Lizzie. I want to," because then that energy. What if Emma is going to be like, "This dude just wants to talk to Lizzie. He doesn't want to talk to me, so I'm going to shut the fuck up."
True.
So I think that's some of it. I think some of it is the energy that the person brings in. Like if they go in there like a prick,
Yeah.
and every energy, right? So the spirits, we as investigators look for that energy to communicate. Spirits look for that energy from us. And I think that's why, like, even when I was with Mary in Gettysburg, she was like and I'm not saying it was all me, because we both have the same style, but we went into a field not being like, oh, who got their fucking leg blown off? Who got their, we were just like, hey, anyone wants to talk, and we were getting things that probably other people weren't getting. I'm lonely. I'm scared. I miss
Oh,
my family.
and you guys were using an app, right?
Yeah, we were both using. We had GhostTube, Spirit Talker going. We had them going.
Okay. I mean, do you have them on airplane mode when you use them?
Sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not, so I think we talked about this before too. Like, I'm not the
Yeah.
biggest app guy just because I feel like it can be manipulated a little bit, especially phones. Well, you know how, like, you can fucking, like, Siri's listening 24/7.
Right.
So, like, what does it say that you're using an app and not on Wi-Fi? Maybe even Wi-Fi, I don't know. But, like, it hears you talking and kind of pushes out words that you want to hear. That's my whole
So I
thing.
think
That's kind of my whole
so.
thing with apps.
So my thing, like my latest thing at the cemetery, right? I'm walking around and I'm a soldier. So I'm
Okay.
like, oh, you're a soldier. So I look around and now how would the app know that there was a grave of a soldier nearby, right?
Mhm.
So so about 3 tombstones down is one of a soldier that died in like the Revolutionary War.
Okay.
So I'm like, who is this? And I get the name Robinson. I can't, or whatever. I don't know if it was Robinson, but that's what's coming to me now. It could have
Mhm.
been fucking Smith. Like, so I'm like, okay, Robinson, what happened? Now, I'm not saying where I'm standing. I'm not saying anything. I've gotten, I was a soldier, a name.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, what happened? I lost an arm. So there wasn't really any way for me to get to my phone to say, tell me you lost an arm. I did say
Now,
like,
I get it.
what's
I see that. That's why I'm saying I'm not totally against apps. I think when you have things like that actually you can, like, correlate with things that are where you're at, you know, give it,
and
you know, more believable.
and going back, Ghost Tube, and of course I wasn't recording because always shit always happens when I wasn't recording.
Whenever the
But
cameras turn off.
I do have the screenshot, which is good. So I'm in Waltham.
Mhm.
Oh, I just doxed myself, so that's fine. I'm in Waltham, Mass. I'm by a lake because my kid said it was kind of cool, kind of and I wasn't ghost hunting, but he was just like, oh, and it started getting dark. So what do? I'm near the woods.
Pull your app out.
I pull my app out, and it says run away. And, and so I pull my app out. I'm like, I'm all right, run away. Why should I run away? And it said something like rituals. I said, what kind of rituals? GhostTube said, I will show you the screenshot if you want. Emma Borden. Like, why would the app come up with Emma Borden?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not 100% anti apps. This makes me, I feel that apps have to, I don't know, be more, things like that. Because, they also can just spit out random shit. But when things like that happen, it's more believable.
Right. And I think so. My thing on the apps is I have as much faith in the apps as I do in like the obelisk.
I love it. You don't like the obelisk, or you do?
But I think they're the same thing. I think just because it comes from Ghost Stop and you're paying $600 for it, you don't know if they put a little microphone in there. You don't know what you're not there when they
True.
make it, right?
I love me the obelisk, but I will say, like, I can't stomach myself spending $600 for a fucking
I
spot.
can I cannot for what my phone and use it in conjunction. Like if you're out, you can use your phone with a cat ball, with the yes or no device. Like, oh, I don't know, I'm from the 1700s. Okay, well, if you're really from the 1700s, hit the green light, and if you get a green light, now you confirmed it.
So what is your favorite besides the apps? We know you're Anthony the Ghost Guy / Anthony the App Guy.
Anthony the app guy.
What is your favorite devices you like to use?
I like the REM pod.
Okay.
TikTok or lives, they don't like the REM pod, but I like the REM pod just because I think it beeps, it makes noises. I don't think it can be a little manipulated, but not too much.
Well, that's why, like, my thing too, like when my REM pod goes off and people always want to say, oh, it's your phone. And I'm like, okay, well, this is how close I get. You see, it's not going off while I'm live. Like, I'm up on you. And, like, this is how close I have to fucking get, dummies. for it to go off. Like I'm not just hitting a button making it beep. You but I like to more professionally. I like to do it. But I mean, fucking, you got the trolls. But yeah, show the trolls. Yeah, feed the trolls once in a while. The spirit.
Oh, your phone's making good. Wipe up, fucker.
Like then why? As I've been on my live for the last hour and a half, has that bitch not been going off?
And now it's been going off. I just got the yes no device, which I kind of like, to be honest.
Have you tried it?
Yeah, I went live with it the other night. I got a couple of good things.
So you just basically say, what do? You explain to the spirits what it is, right? And then you go light up green for yes and red for no.
You got it.
And then were you getting some intelligent responses with that bad boy?
Yes. All right. I love how you figured that one out. So I was getting some like, hey, are you whatever? I forget what I was asking. But I was getting some good responses. The thing that got me though is I had it on the table, and to the right of it or whatever, I also had one of the dolls just because it's fun to have during a live.
Okay.
But the cat ball on the doll kept going off. But the thing was every time I was like, hey, hit the cat ball again, the cat ball would go off, and then the yes no device, which was green, would also light up. Like it was showing me almost like the arm hitting the cat ball, lighting up. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you also can do right or left. You can say, hey, if there's a spirit to the left of that box, light it up. If there's a spirit to the right, light it up. So it doesn't have to be yes or no. And in this case, it looked like it would go green and then cat ball.
See, and that's why like you have a secondary device kind of like backing up the green light. So like when you had trolls coming in saying like, oh, well, you're pressing a button. Okay, well, who's making the fucking cat ball go off then?
Yeah, fuckers.
I like two pieces of evidence that kind of make it just solidifies the evidence.
It does.
So do you believe in alternate explanations for paranormal phenomena? Like geological stuff? You think that like, psychological, like do you think any of that?
Dude, I understand like 2 words in that question. What the fuck?
This is a serious podcast, Anthony. I came with questions that I fucking Googled, but I printed the pictures out.
Fuck! I understood like do you and everything after that.
All right.
Do you mean like
so do you think geological, right? So do you think like, mountains or flowing water or granite, like I mean, stuff like that. Does that play a part in paranormal like phenomena?
Thank you for asking me the question. Like
Sarah said you really thought Anthony was going to be serious.
I know.
I should have named this episode 90-10. Back to old school. 90 fucking 10.
Not big.
5G.
No, water. I think I have no proof of it, but I think, from what I hear, water can affect paranormal activity.
I heard that too.
But I have no. I can't say, oh my God, it's raining and I get more activity. So I can't say that, right? I can't say there's more. People
also said like thunderstorms are like a conduit to make the energy like build up. But I went to Penhurst. Yeah. I went to Penhurst like when I first started 10 years ago. It was like the biggest place I ever went to. And we went dead summer and it was thunderstorming the whole time. And I didn't get a fucking thing.
Right. So I have no like evidence for that. No, like, oh my God, it was pouring and I got all this great shit.
Do you think? So you don't think like water running rivers, like say a house is haunted right next to a river, you don't think that water energy, you don't believe in that type of stuff?
Well, I just have no proof of it. Like I would never say to someone, no, you're full of it. I just haven't experienced. I was near water and I got more activity.
Ironstone. Someone said we actually have a lot of ironstone near me that would definitely mess with your devices.
I do have a limestone basement, so that might be why I get some activity in my house. Is it limestone?
Yeah, limestone I heard is a conductor type thing. So
yeah, like this house was built my house was like from 1850 something,
I want
old
to.
like that.
I want to come investigate your house.
Oh, 1880. My wife
1880,
just,
old.
yeah, my wife
Old,
just
man.
yelled out, "You want to investigate my house?"
Yeah, it's free. It doesn't cost any money, and you have a ghost spirit
Look,
there.
I want an obelisk. Bring an obelisk and you can investigate.
I mean,
my
I can
house.
bring one with me. I know someone with one. I just grab it and come with me.
All right, man.
What do you?
We can investigate the bedroom together.
And just remind the chat if you guys have any questions you want me to ask Anthony, my man Anthony the Ghost Guy. He's a avid cemetery investigator. Go ahead, chat the questions in the chat, and I'll ask Anthony. Anthony, what do you think some of the most common misconceptions about the paranormal field are?
That we're all crazy, which
Crazy,
is true.
crazy because we do it.
That we have, I think that it's fake. You know, like I think it's interesting that I think the biggest misconception is that the demon thing, right? Everyone uses like everything that we talk to is evil. That we make up stuff. That we're looking for Satan. That we're Satanist. I think from the stuff that I hear, it's like those are the biggest misconceptions.
Hey, Sin said, "Amen."
Amen. I think that's Amen. I think that's the biggest, you know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff that we're out to, that we're making the stuff up. That I don't know. I think that's. I think a lot of misconceptions come from
TV shows.
well, TV shows and people who are super. And again, I have no problem with religion. Like if that's so be it. But we're not looking. You know, we're not looking for Satan because we're here's the biggest one. Now that I've said all that, the spirits that we talk to are being punished for something. Like I've been listening just recently. Someone was like, "Oh, these spirits have unfinished business. That's why they're here," or they're waiting for the afterlife. No, for me, that's a misconception. I just think the spirits who are here because they want to be here. I don't think anyone's getting punished. I don't think there's any force somewhere being like, "Oh, you fucked up. You can't go anywhere, so you have to wander the earth."
Yeah.
To me, I just think the spirits want to be here.
I think the biggest when I talk about like misconception with TV shows, I think the biggest misconception that people get from the TV shows, because I mean, if it wasn't for the TV shows, question for Anthony. Hold on, I got a question for Sarah after I say this real quick. Is that like I would never been in this field if it wasn't for ghost hunters. But as much as I love Ghost Adventures, we all know, got my glasses on.
Yeah.
Actually, I actually wear these when I'm on my PC and I stream because.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. The biggest misconception from the TV shows is everywhere you go is haunted. Right. I think they put such a pedestal on a lot of these places because they have gone there. And it's like every time he turns around, it's like, what was that? Yeah. Or they do a digital recorder device and they get an answer. And people think that everywhere they go, they're going to get that, not realizing that, you know, that's like I was talking to Mary and Josh last week about it that's like a 3-day period where they film. And what they get on a 45-minute episode is 3 days of condensed, like edited out to make it look like all one night.
Yep.
And I think that has made a wild misconception that everywhere you go that's haunted, even the most haunted places, are going to be crazy like that.
Yeah. And I think, like you just brought up the time, you know, because I've gotten that too. It's like, oh, you go to the cemetery, you get these pictures on your Seer app. Well, sometimes I'm walking around for 45 minutes before I even get anything.
So Sarah, the Nocturnal Painter, has asked, Anthony, did you sacrifice any baby yams before contacting the spirits?
Sacrifice
baby yams. Fucking yam. Oh, yes, he did. 3 of them. Yeah. Actually, he's getting ready to eat one right now. He just sacrificed it.
I just sacrificed it. Get ready for the yams.
Fuck, I had an actual serious question. And I don't remember what I was gonna say. Fuck. What are some cool places you've been to? We talked about Lizzie Borden, my fucking TikTok crew over here is Fucking mine is fucking me up right now. I'm trying
That's what they do.
trying to be serious.
That's what they do.
I'm trying to be serious. Where are some of the cool places? I know you've been to Lizzie Borden House.
Yes.
Changed your whole views on paranormal.
Yes.
I know you go to some cemeteries that are old school. Yep. Have you ever been to any other cool places?
Gettysburg.
Gettysburg, cool. And you guys just went to some of the battlefields, right?
We went to we went to battlefields. And now, okay, so battlefields are interesting because I like apps. We know that.
Anthony the app guy.
And we love things that blink and make noise and all that. The most interesting thing for me in Gettysburg was what I was feeling, right?
Okay.
So we went to the first field we went to, and I was like, I don't think this is excitement or whatever. It was like wide open. It was like just this wide open field. And I felt very like chaotic. Like I felt like a lot of chaos. I was just like walking around very fast and sporadically. And my wife is like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I just feel like anxious and I want to da da da. And she's like, okay, that's okay, whatever, We just kind of let it go and I kind of sat on it. And then the next day, when we were with Mary, we went to Devil's Den, which has a lot of rocks, a lot of places to kind of like hide and stuff. And it was very heavy. Like the end there, I felt kind of like very heavy, very sad. I felt like I was being watched. And that was like the bloodiest battle. So Devil's Den had the bloodiest battle.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about it, and like my body or my emotions were reacting to how those soldiers probably felt in those fields, right? A field that's wide open. When you have firing everywhere. That's probably what these guys were doing, just running away, trying to look for cover.
Or being shot and laying there as they're bleeding out, just in pain because it's a little musket bullet.
Right, you're bleeding out in pain, just laying there. So I think for me, what's good about Gettysburg is like all the gadgets are great, but sometimes us can be the best equipment. If we just kind of see how we're feeling, we can get reactions from spirit just by using us as the equipment.
Yeah, I mean, I went to the Monroe house, not the one not Monday, but when I went the first time. I got affected emotionally, like where I was tearing up. One of my last TikTok lives ever. I wasn't crying about TikTok. I was crying. I felt teary up. But like the story was like we were doing an Esther session and the husband, I forget his name. I forget the names, but like was abusive and the kids and the wife. And no, I feel like he was getting answers through the Essie session that it was the wife and kids there. And the husband wasn't like letting them talk. And like, I felt like, I don't know if they were trying to have me feel what they felt, but that's like the first time I've ever had that type of an emotional response at an investigation. Like I teared up.
Love it.
You probably missed that live because you probably
why are you throwing shade? You tell a nice story and then you're throwing shade.
I'm just all right, so let's talk about mods. Like who your mods are and who you deleted off being a mod recently this past week. I get notifications. Damn, he Lizzie Borden me this week.
Wait, are you still subbing?
Yeah, I do sub to you because we talked about it. I'm on kick and I'm like, Anthony Goose Guy subbing. Nope.
I didn't realize it was $6.50.
No, you have to do it on the internet, through the internet. You can't do it through the app because the app makes you pay the fees.
Well, you left that part out.
No, I didn't. Now I know. Now you know.
You left that.
And the Colts owner just passed away, not to talk paranormal. Indianapolis Colts football team.
That's horrible.
I just got my watch just went off.
Rest in peace.
Sarah said she's still a mod. And Aim Dow. Who's Aim Dow? Who's that one?
Who?
7198. Which one of your little mod squaddies are? Which one are you, Aim Dow? I forget. Allison. My bad. Allison. They went a hashtag mod squad. I got cut. It was the hair, wasn't it?
It was the hair.
You're good, bro. I don't got time for that shit anyway. I'm busy. All right, back to seriousness.
You're busy asking questions.
Yeah, I know. So, where are some places that you want to go to in the
I want to go
future?
to all like I haven't been to any of like like Penhurst, Waverly, Trans-Allegheny. There's one that I'm thinking of that I can't think of right now. Penhurst.
Your mod squad's coming at me right now.
Don't pay attention to them.
I
What's the
know.
one shit
Huh?
that that jail, Bushy Hills or something?
What jail?
It's like in like there's mountains around it,
What
and it's
state?
like I don't some gushy. No, don't
You're
don't
out.
go look.
What am I googling? Mountains?
Mountains.
The fuck?
No, Brush. Is it Brush Hill?
I don't know.
Brush Hill. But that one looks pretty cool.
So basically, your list of haunted places that you are actually interested in going to is basically every fucking list there is because you haven't gone to any of them.
Because I haven't been to any of them.
Well, you know what happens in November?
But we get the myth.
November 1st.
We get the myth.
The Mifflin, baby. The good old Fort Mifflin.
I am looking forward to that. That's gonna be amazing. That is on the bucket list. So that's gonna be. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, fuck. You know what I just thought about? I'm flying out for that. So I think D Nasty is gonna have to pay for extra luggage because I gotta bring my ghost hunting shit with me. I just thought about it. I literally it just hit me right now. Like I'm not driving. It's like, so when I was home on spring break, there was a revolutionary battlefield I did, and I just used my SB7 spirit box and got some cool answers out of it.
The SB7 spirit box.
I love it.
You know what? That poor thing is underrated. That little thing.
It's so underrated, and I got the speaker with it. Because like I've gotten so many like direct answers from it that if I didn't have it, it's like I'm just pointing, make purple turn blue.
Yeah, exactly.
Make
touch that apple.
I will say, I tried something new the other day at the Monroe House. So they have a bunch of Ouija boards, right?
There you go.
So I put the Ouija board down on the floor. I put the little, what's the thing that you push? What's that little thing called that you push? Huh?
Planchette.
That, okay. So I put that right in the middle.
Yeah.
I put my SB7 spirit box on top of it and had it rotate backwards. And then I put my tripwire around the Ouija board in a circle.
You know what? I've done the same shit. I bring out the Ouija board. Anyways, what did you get anything cool?
Not with the SB7, but then I put my REM pod on top of the Pantula thing, and the REM pod was like, it started beeping, and the tripwire was going crazy, and I was like, make the REM pod go off all the way, unless you're too weak. Like if you can't do it, you're too weak. That's fine. Fucker blew up, bro. All the lights came on, every single light, and I was like, okay, thank you. Can you back away? Turned off.
Stop it.
I swear to God. So what I do, I'm going to have to do it when I come back, is I like doing evidence review. Like I like to go live and I replay it. And because I've actually found like coming on and rewatching my lives, I've gotten a lot more shit that I'm like, holy fuck. Like I never knew this. Like when I was live, I never even knew I got it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to rewatch it next week. But yeah, man, like I was like, if you're too fucking weak, like just, that's fine. Like that's cool. And that thing, awful. Because it was like, you know how REM pods go like beep, and like beep.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you're too weak, yo, you're good. And then, bam, lit up. My tripwire would go blue green, like,
because I've done
till the end. Mango, what's up? Sorry.
That's fine. With weed, I've done the same thing. Like on some, I'll put them out just almost as a trigger object. Like. And I haven't used them, but I've done the same thing. I put a cat ball in the planchette. I put a flashlight on the board.
And go ahead, I'm listening. Sorry, my bad.
No, and sometimes you get shit, and then people on the live are like, "Oh, use the Ouija board by yourself." I'm like, no, and it's not because. Speaking of Ouija
boards by yourself, I tried that.
Well, did you? How did it go?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Well, because I think Ouija board by yourself. It's not because I'm going to get possessed by a demon. I don't want to do the Ouija board by myself, but your brain is going to give you the answers that you want. I think. I think you can manipulate it. Like your hands are on the planchette, and you're like, "Oh, is there a spirit here? Oh, wait, there's an." I think like your hands will just be like, "Oh, go to."
You're
You know what I mean?
self-consciously, you don't realize it, but like
You're
you
probably
know,
doing it.
yeah.
That's why I think it's.
My shit didn't
That's why
move. I did it by myself.
that,
Oh, my buddy brings up a good point. How do you feel about dowsing rods?
I like them as long as you're not near water.
So that there you go. So you think that's a conduit? You think the dowsing rods get affected by water?
Right. So I think because that's what they were used for back in the day is to like find water.
By water,
So I
yeah.
think water, not to say that they won't work, but they might go a little crazy. Um, I actually used some dowsing rods in the Lizzie Borden house. They had some, and we got some good answers from them.
Patricia said, I guess 5G affects dowsing rods too. So
I
I did not know that. Dowsing rods. I've thought about getting them. Is this something else to try? I don't really know how much I feel because they don't move. Isn't it like a thing that's in like a sleeve? So like you hold it and it moves by. They move by themselves. Like because you're not.
yeah.
People are like, oh, you're moving them, but they sit in a sleeve though. Like you know, I'm talking about like a loose sleeve it sits in. Jesus Lord.
It has it does yes. So you can't really you can if you wanted to. You could use like your thumbs to manipulate it. To be honest, like you could kind of go like a minute. But
yeah,
one of the best things I had with dowsing rod before is I had them out. This was actually at my house. I had them out, and they were axed. And I was like, oh, if there is, I forget what the question was. I think if there's more than one spirit here, can you open up the dowsing rods? And all of a sudden, I was like, what the? Like all of a sudden, I could feel like some pressure or something.
like something was trying to manipulate it.
Yes, and I tried to like pull them like the X apart, and I could not do it. And I was like, so then finally they came loose, and I was like, because my wife was with me, I'm like, is there like glue or sticky stuff on like? Why would that happen? And she's like, I have no idea. So I did. So I looked on the rods. There was nothing on there. They went X again, and I was like, if there's more than one spirit here, can you open up? And it was like the same thing. They wouldn't move. I don't know why spirit would do that, but
That's interesting.
that was almost like if they were like pressing down, like they didn't want to give the answer.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. Do you have them now? Like, did you do that at your house?
Yep.
So you think that you have more than one spirit at your house?
I think I definitely I think I have more than her wife's like yes. I definitely have at least there's one definitely. There's one dude definitely. Um there might be a second. I'm not sure. But I think, Matt, going back to my first thing, I think once if I'm communicating with the one spirit that's here all the time, I
Really?
think that just opens other spirits to come by. Like, I think then it's an open house. Like, I
So
think I've had spirits come and go.
when was the first time you actually had an experience in your house when it made you go like, oh shit?
My wife's gotten touched. I've gotten touched.
Like touch like
And,
like what do you mean? Like you're shoved or like you just feel like something like this? Like
well, when I first started, I was like, oh, there must be like a cobweb or something, right? I must have put my arm through a cobweb.
okay.
And then you start researching, and people are like, no, that's how spirits feel. And I was like, why would there be a cobweb? Like, and then I was thinking to myself, I'm sitting on my couch communicating. Why all of a sudden would there be a cobweb on my arm? Doesn't make sense.
No, you're right.
But my wife will be like at certain times we'd be communicating. All of a sudden she'd be like, oh, someone just pulled my hair. Like,
And
she gets most of.
like how long ago was that? Like when did you think it started? Like you think it started around the time that you actually got into this field?
Yeah, I think I got into it, and then probably about a year. So I've been doing this about 2 years. I don't think anything really started happening at home until about
So that brings
a
me to
year.
my next question. And again, I know we've talked about this and we've kind of laughed about it. attachments.
Yeah.
So you've been doing it for 2 years, and before this, like nothing ever happened. So, how do you still feel about attachments, bringing things home, and do you think that maybe with the cemeteries you've gone to, that you ended up actually bringing something home?
I don't think so. I think what I may have done is like they come and go. I really am not convinced yet that any spirit, like, I don't think that any spirit is going to be like, you know what, Anthony, that's the guy I'm going to haunt his house because they can go anywhere, right? So is that they can go back to their loved ones. But I do think the same spirits will continue to come back once I put that beacon out. Once they know I'm going to communicate, they know, oh, Anthony's communicating. Let's go back. Let's go visit him. Um, except for the two spirits that are here all the time. Like for whatever reason, they're here all the time. And they may have been here. One dude. So I have this one spirit. So we found, and this is a weird name. So going back, this is going to tie in. This is going to tie in. I think everything for you, right? So one time with the app, I get this weird ass. No, what I shouldn't say it because this is the spirit that's like always in the house. I get this name, Michelson.
Okay.
That that's not like a normal name. I get it on the GhostTube app, Michelson. I'm
Okay.
like, Michelson, who are you? And that name keeps coming up, keeps coming up. This Michelson dude will touch my wife's hair. We have like an automatic, so we have like an automatic trash thing, right? Like you put your hand over it and the trash will open. There's been times we're just talking, all of a sudden zzz, it goes up.
That's weird.
No one's. I have a dog. Everyone knows my dog, and we have a cat. And because he's a stupid dog, we have to use a gate so he doesn't go into the kitty litter.
Okay.
A baby gate so I can get through, but the dog can't. One day we were talking. So one day me and my wife were talking about Michelson, like just talking about it. All of a sudden the gate falls down, gets from between the doorway down on the ground, like unattached, down on the ground. So and then we're in Gettysburg.
Ghostly empty beer cans.
Then we're in Gettysburg, like in a field.
Okay.
Sudden, Michelson comes up on the app, and we were like, "Are you here? Like, what? Why you followed us from home?" So that might be a attachment, like you say. Do I believe attachments? I don't know. I think he was probably haunted. I think that's a reverse attachment. If that makes sense. I think he was like in this home. We opened ourselves up to communicating with spirits, and now he's like, "All right, I'm going to follow you guys around."
Have you looked that name up?
No. Yeah,
Sarah
we've
said,
tried. But
Matt, you can't deny that you've met. I do. Y'all the ones that I was gone for 3 weeks, and everyone forgot who I was.
oh shoot! Oh, we're taking a turn.
No, Sarah said, Matt, you can't deny. I do miss you guys, but I'm glad you're here. I'm glad every single one of you downloaded Kick Streaming.
Kick streaming.
Hey,
So
Matt,
yeah, so
I know you did, Sarah. You're good.
So that's what happened there. You know what I mean?
Why haven't you looked that name up?
Because we got a pretty good relationship with the ghost.
Wouldn't it be interesting to find out, like?
Well, we've tried. Like my wife, so my wife searching thing. It's like I just want to talk to the ghost and move, and I'm good with that. So we've Googled the name, we've tried to look up the name, and we really can't get anything.
Have you tried to look into like past owners of the property?
We have not done that.
I mean, maybe that's one of the original owners.
Maybe.
Homework.
Look at you.
Homework.
Next week we'll follow up. No.
We'll follow up Anthony Ghost Guy hashtag Anthony fucking App Guy to find out if he Googled his You mentioned okay. So Anthony, my buddy Al said, Anthony, you mentioned a motion operated trash can response. Ever had any technology act funny around that spirit name? So you think Michelson did the trash can? Like, so here we go. Here's a question for you, right? How does the ghost know how to operate a 21st century trash can?
Because he watches us do it. Duh. That was an easy question.
You got me.
I mean, that's how, right? If they.
So, and that goes back to like, you see people go like, spirits, can you, and you think they see you doing the bang, so they go.
So then they do the.
That would be interesting to know, like, if you could, how hard it is to even find out who used to be past owners of that place.
No, that's actually good. That was kind of a good idea.
Yeah, man. Like, so what? How far? Okay, so you kind of believe in attachments, but you also don't. Basically, is what it seems like.
Yeah, because I don't think, because it depends on what this attachment, like, spirits can get it. This is going to be a weird ass answer. I think spirits can get attached to you, but they don't stay with you. Right?
Yeah.
Like I don't think, like, the Bordens. Do I think now this is debated right now. This is the newest Borden debate. Like, do I think Emma Borden has visited me in this house? Absolutely, yes. Because I've gotten the name Emma. A certain medium was in one of my lives, and she's like, I'm getting the name Emma, not knowing that I got the name Emma. Then the app said Emma Borden. So, do I think Emma Borden might swing by here once in a while? Yes.
How far away do you live? How far do you live from that area, that house?
45 minutes.
45. I think you did say that. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I'm with you, right? So I get people all the time in my lives talking about like seances and like wash or whatever that's just called, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think we both said the same thing. Like, I personally do not believe in attachments, just for the fact. Do I think spirits could follow you home? Yeah, like they can go honestly, they can go where the fuck they want, really. But if I'm going to a house, we'll say, Waverly for an example, right? That place is investigated every single day.
Yeah.
All year long. So my thing is you're going to tell me that I go there one day and that spirit's going to say, that's the motherfucker I'm going home with. Like, I'm sorry. That's just me. And I'm not saying anyone feels wrong for feeling a different way. I just don't believe in, why would that spirit want to leave a place that it knows that it's been there for probably, like not hundreds of years, because Waverly's not that old, but a long time. Like, what is it getting out of coming home with me? Like, that's just how I look at it. And that's even with like all the places here in Indiana. Like, all the places here in Indiana are the same way. They get investigated like all the time. This motherfucker spirit's gonna say, hitching a ride with that guy. Yeah, he's cool.
Right.
Like, do I believe that, like, say cemetaries, you get a spirit who can say like, ooh, that person looks interesting. Like say like, and you're very respectful in how you do things. Like, say like, I want to know more about this guy and can follow you and then leave. Like,
right.
But for the most part, if I'm driving 3 hours, the location, this fucking ghost ain't hopping in my back seat, catching a ride me back home.
Right.
I just don't feel that way. Could I be wrong? I could be fucking 100% dead wrong. And I'm not going to lie to you. Like, when I'm peeing at 3 o'clock in the morning, my bedroom is right. Like, I have to walk like out of my bedroom door, kind of like, it's like a meow down a little hallway to my bathroom. If you look right, it opens up to like my living room. I'm waiting. Like, I'll be lying to you if I told you I don't look every time, and I'm waiting for that fucking shadow figure. Like, I'm waiting for it. Like, I'm waiting for it. And that'll be the part of the day I'll probably piss down my leg right then and there. But I will say, like, I don't know, did you watch my TikToks from the beginning? Like, early on? Like, I would be terrified to even walk in another room alone. Like, I've come a long way, Anthony. I don't even like investigating. No, I don't even like investigating with people anymore. Like, I like going with a very small group.
Yeah.
And the last 5 months, I've learned a lot. That's all I'm going to say. All right. And my group, I have learned, is now very small. to the point where when I even go on investigations now, like I just walk away, like I do it on my own.
That's
But
awesome.
so
That may be your first jail.
huh?
You went to a jail cell by yourself
I did.
the first time.
So what are your thoughts? We're about to get controversial for a second, because we like to be controversial on the Ghostly Tales podcast.
Let's go.
What are your thoughts on pair unity? I didn't ask the unknown project this question. This popped out of my head right now. Pair unity. Let's break it down. What do you think about pair unity?
Pair unity? Bullshit.
I 1,000% agree with you. It is the biggest
It's
crock
a term. It's when you hear someone say, "Here's my." Again, I'm not trying to. No, fuck it. This is how I feel about pair unity.
Yeah, me too. We're break it down.
If someone says to you, "Hey, Matt, welcome to my group. We're all about pair unity."
Hold on, real quick. My buddy Al asked what pair unity is. Al, pair unity is a term loosely used on TikTok from a lot of paranormal investigators who think just because you're in the paranormal world, you should support them. That's what that is. Back to you there, Anthony.
If someone said, right, so for me, if someone says pair unity, I'm very concerned because my experiences now have kind of shown me what that means is if you disagree, if you don't follow someone that they follow, if you have a disagreement with someone they follow, then you're under attack. That's pretty much what it is. All of a sudden, they'll start shitting on your evidence. They'll start shitting on you. They'll start shitting on the people who are following you. So as long as you kind of play by the rules and just say everyone is great and everyone's evidence is great and I agree with everything they're doing, then there's that power unity. But the minute you're like, oh, I don't really jive with that person, then you're an asshole.
Yeah, so yeah, I definitely think pair unity is a crutch for people to use to bitch and complain when people don't just fucking walk that same line. Like, just because you're in a fucking, it's like in any field, man. If I don't need to fucking you don't need to fucking like everybody who's in the same field just because they're in the fucking field. Like, it's bullshit.
I like pair unity, but if I say to someone, hey, your cat ball might be going off because you put it on a fucking spring mattress, doesn't
you fucking
doesn't make me. It doesn't. You know what I mean? Like it's not, I'm not trying to make that person. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to make that person less of an investigator. I'm just saying, hey, did you realize that maybe putting your REM pod next to an air conditioner and then turn the air conditioner on might give you a false positive? That's not against power unity or person. It says, hey, you may not have thought of that. Just like you said to me sometimes, hey, Anthony, you know, I know you're so excited about this evidence, but did you ever think X, Y, and Z? I'm like, oh shit, man, you're right. Sorry.
Look, and like, yo, just because we don't agree with it doesn't make anyone else who thinks it's all yay turtle, parties and unicorns. There's nothing wrong with it. But I went into it when it first got just thrown around like, oh yeah, pair unity. Yeah, no, okay.
No.
I don't have to fucking like. You don't have to like everything someone does just because they're in the same field. And just because you don't or don't agree with it doesn't mean you fucking don't like a person. You don't always have to agree. That term is such a fucking crutch. It's a joke. It's a crutch. Hashtag mute that shit off my Twitter. Para bullshit.
Para, leave me alone.
And yeah, like, it's just ridiculous.
I mean, it's a great concept. It's a good concept, and we all should be. Para unity for me is like if someone's off, if someone's on an investigator saying, "Oh, ghosts aren't real," para unity is like supporting that person and backing them up, saying, "You know what? If you don't like it, move on." You know what I mean? That's how I look at para unity. If someone goes after another investigator, regardless whether I like them or not, I'll probably back them up. Right? Like, hey, if you don't like ghosts, if you think we're talking to demons, go somewhere else. Watch something else. Like, leave that investigator. However, if you put a freaking cat ball on something that's going to bounce, and I say, hey, that might be a false positive, doesn't mean I'm against para-unity. That means
Exactly.
I'm just
Or
you
like K2, like I don't even use K2s anymore because when you go live on your cell phone, the K2 is never going to stop going off unless you're 5,000 fucking feet away from it.
Yes.
So if your K2 never goes off when you're live, maybe it's because it's your fucking live. Sorry. Let me calm down. Bring it in. Anthony's getting me.
Wow.
Anthony's bringing it out of me.
I don't know.
So, but truly though, like I stopped using the K2 because it never stops going. Your phone makes the K2 go off.
Dude, do you know what I could do with my music box? I have a music box.
Okay.
I could, if I wanted to, set that down in a room, have my dog walking around, be like, "Oh, guys, it's a spirit. Oh, guys, it's a spirit." But I'm not going to do that because it's not right evidence, right?
Yeah.
So, just saying, there's nothing wrong with saying, "Hey, guys, the K2 isn't going to work if you have it right up to your cell phone. You want to put it across the room somewhere, and maybe see if you can see the red light from across the room. All right, go for it. But if you, but I've seen the same thing where someone has their cell phone and they're doing like one of these. Like, guys, look, it's red. It's red. Well, yeah, because your cell phone is laying on top of it.
It's like fucking like it's like here. It's like it's just But that, and then you have the people who I watched on TikTok before who like run around screaming demons this, demons that, and give me fucking boxing gloves for me to go up to the attic. I'd call their fucking names out too if I knew what their fucking names are. I forget what they are. But I'm like, yo, that like the paranormal field is already laughed at for the most part anyway. And then you have people like that. It's like, I don't need that Unity shit. I don't have to like that motherfucker. Motherfucker's goofy as shit. Like, I think he's goofy as shit. That's not There's a difference between a paranormal investigator. I want in the chat to understand this. I'm not hating on anybody. No one in this world am I hating on right now. There's a difference between a paranormal investigator, well, those two goofballs I am because they're idiots, and a paranormal enthusiast. Oh no! If I see people in lives screaming demon this, demon that, you're a joke. I don't give a fuck. They're gonna come fight me. They're gonna cancel me.
No.
So you can be an enthusiast, and that's okay. Like if you, I don't know, come off like I'm not. This is not directed at any single person in the United States of America. Hey guys.
No, it doesn't sound it.
Paranormal ghost hunters go ghost hunting a lot. Enthusiasts do it every now and then. That's okay. Like that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it, man. Like
if you want to do it a lot, cemetery, and that's kind of what I like. The other thing too is there's so many avenues to do the paranormal, right?
Yes.
You don't have to go to buildings. You can go to cemeteries. You can get spooky objects. Now, people don't like to bring them into their homes. I get that. So if you're,
I'm not bringing shit into this place. I'll tell you that.
Dude, you should see what I have now. That's been my other avenue. I got pictures of people. I got pieces of buildings in this house. I got a lock of hair from someone that passed away.
Did you order that off? Did you order it offline?
No, I got it from Becky Galentine. Thank you very much.
Is she the REM pod aficionado?
What?
Or is that not her?
No.
That's not her?
That's Lauren.
That's
Lauren.
You know so many famous people. I can't keep track. I'm actually honored that you came on tonight. Like, you're so famous.
Will you shut the fuck up?
Nah, man. Like, the paranormal field already has a hard time getting taken serious. And that actually brings up to another misconception that I've asked about before that maybe to think about it is you don't have to ghost hunt at nighttime. Spirits don't flip a switch on because you go nighttime, or you don't have to go to a haunted fucking house to talk to spirits. Like people, and that's a misconception. People think I think nighttime gives an ambiance of coolness.
Okay, now in all seriousness, what the thing with nighttime, and it's the same thing as again, I've gotten a lot of good information. I've gotten a lot of good responses during the day. But just like at night in my own house, I do shut off the lights. And the reason for that is I've noticed that spirits, if they're not, I don't want to say combating with the light, but that can almost drain energy. I think like it seems to be more active in my house when like it's a little dim. But in the same aspect, it's been bright as noon in a cemetery, and I'm getting all these responses.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't have to be nighttime.
It
Like,
doesn't have to be night.
is it cool to go at night? Because I think again, like TV shows gave it this misconception that you have to do it at nighttime. But I
Yeah.
also think people do it at night because it's cool. Like people, but a lot that's a misconception. I don't think a lot of people understand that you can go communicate with spirits during the daytime.
If there's anyone, listen, if there's anyone in this watch right now that maybe they think they're an enthusiast and they want to get into the paranormal, go during the day. Go to a cemetery during the day.
Yeah.
You will contact a spirit.
Yeah.
I guarantee I haven't gone to a cemetery and not contacted a spirit.
I just went to a cemetery the other day for the first time. It was small. So I did it at nighttime, but the only reason I did it at nighttime because it's an old cemetery and it's fenced in. There's no sign saying like when it closes, but I didn't want to like.
As long as there's no sign.
I didn't want to get caught. You know what I mean? Like so
Did you?
I went at nighttime wearing all black so no one could see me like a fucking ninja, and I got nothing. Got
And
nothing.
what?
I got nothing.
What were you using?
SB7, my thermal, and I pulled out the SLS camera for the first time.
Okay, but the SLS camera, trees could look like a person.
Well, no, the only thing it was mapping the gravestone.
Yeah,
Some of them were like tall and skinny. So, you know me, I like to debunk shit.
Well, maybe because you're being a jerk.
No, I'm saying like the point being is even just because you go to a cemetery doesn't mean you're going to get anything.
Right.
So
Nothing's.
no. But nighttime, like I said, I think people think you have to do it at nighttime because that's the only time spirits come out, which is another common misconception in the paranormal field.
You know what? You asked that question, the biggest misconception. I should go with that. I've been out at night once.
You want to go into a cemetery? Does your cemetery you go to, is it open at night?
Not one of them. One of them is not. I mean, one of them is.
So is it true?
Well, there's no fence.
That's what I was getting ready to ask. Like, if there's no fence, it's open.
That's how I feel about it. If there's no fence, if it doesn't say from dusk to dawn,
there is a cemetery. It's like an hour away from here, bro. It's from like the 1800s. You have to walk through the woods to get to it. And I want to go, but I checked like my coverage map. There's like no service. I'm like,
check my coverage map.
I gotta check my T-Mobile coverage map, which let me remind you is wrong half the time because it tells me I'm in 5G and I'm sitting here with 1 bar LTE. Like, did the spirit zap my fucking surface? Like, what the fuck is happening right now? So, no, but like, you know, the field itself, ours closed at night because of the witches. That's like the one in Harris County I was talking about. It's about a mile and a half down the. Yeah, so, you know, a lot of misconceptions. I think to be taken serious, goofing off. Like you see people on TikTok doing it like I said, demonic shit all the time. And if you ghost hunt and all you do is ask for, you know, lightning bugs or, you know, boxing gloves to do anything because you want to make money off this shit, like, are you really into it? Or are you doing it for the money? And I feel like I think a lot of people, no one that we know in our groups, like, I'm not saying this isn't about anyone that I've ghost hunted with, but there's a lot of people on TikTok I think do it for the money.
I think when I hear things like, and again, it's no one that I follow, to be honest, but as I'm doom scrolling, like as I go through the thing,
doom scrolling,
this one dude was in a cemetery, but I thought this looks cool. He's like, all right, if I get 10 more heart puffs or whatever, I'll go lights out. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
Well, I've watched people who do the same thing at places. We're like, oh, like
Not that
a
maybe
hundred,
I
a
get
100,000 lightning bolts, and I'll turn the lights out. Like,
yeah. And like full disclosure, because I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I get gifts during my lives. People send me shit,
yeah,
but
but
I just
you don't,
I
you don't sit there and say, hey, give me 90 boxing gloves, and I'll take my
right.
shirt off and see the spirits will scratch me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with getting gifts. Like, when I was trying to go for a partner, I was saying, hey, so for me on Kick, right? When I ask for subs, but I'm also like, I do giveaways. So like right now, I'm doing a mini fridge from the company Freshen Up, which cool story. Freshen Up, that energy drink I drink, will be selling Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
Oh, that's cool.
Ball is going to be selling Freshen Up because I talked to him. Like literally, like this is a funny story. So I was at Waverly, right? And literally the first place I think I went to, where I started at 8 o'clock when you start, and I was done at 3:30 when it almost when it ended. I was like live the whole time. And the setup area is looks like a cafeteria, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the lady who sits there all night, I saw her sitting there next to a fridge that had Red Bull in it. And I always bring like 2 energy drinks with me to drink to stay awake. So I was like, you know what, I'm about to just shoot my shot. I was like, hey, I see you guys see Red Bull. I see you sell Red Bulls. I was like, I have this drink that I think would be amazing. It's really good, a lot better than Red Bull. And she was like, oh, cool. Like, I'll give your name. So I gave it to her. I was like, here, you can keep it. Try it out. Let me know what you think. And the lady was like, give me your name and your email address and phone number, and I'll have the owner of Waverly reach out to you. He's a big veteran, military supporter, all that good stuff, right? So like 3 days go by, and I'm like, hey, I tried. Like, cool. Like, he probably wasn't going to call me. Like, they probably, awesome. Like, hey, I tried. He calls the owner of Waverly calls me. I'm like, I'm talking to the fucking owner of Waverly Hills Sanatorium. And he's like, I'll do it. I'll buy 1 case of each flavor. He's like, we sell energy drinks out there. That's why, like, I talked to the owner of this company, Freshen Up. His name's Joey, super cool guy. I was like, yo, like, energy drink companies like that who are in the streaming world, right? You're missing a huge Sarah. That's because I left TikTok for a minute. I was going to send Sarah. I got to send Sarah a case because she just mentioned to me that
called out.
She's still drinking Monsters. I was going to send her a case around the time I said TikTok goes bye bye. So Sarah, I will message you on Discord and I'm gonna get you your case. But he was like, and I told Jordan, I was like, oh, ghost hunting is overnight. Like, this is a huge untapped resource of people who drink energy drinks.
Yeah.
So I tell people all the time, like, if you fucking drink Red Bull, why would you not at least try this? Because 1, it's no artificial flavors, no sugar. It's a lot healthier for you. Vitamins and minerals, freshenup.com. Use Dynasty code checkout. No.
Find a way to drop your fucking merch. I swear to God.
That's not my merch. That's my drink. I didn't even drop the merch at geeksunleashed.com/Dynasty Paranormal. Get some of my merch. Sugar-free Rockstar. You can have sugar-free Freshen Up.
Link in bio.
The link is my Botrix funnels out things like that. I want to put out like my merch link and my energy drink link. But funny, I'm 100% going to try. Just haven't gotten around to it. I know, I got you. Freshen Up, I know. Freshen Up's awesome. But, like, point being, like, that's why this guy was the first energy drink company that they also sell cans and not powder. And I was like, yo, y'all missing out on an untapped fucking resource of people who need energy to stay awake all night long. Like,
yeah.
So, they've been real cool. So,
that's great.
And I have Trans Allegheny coming up in September.
Good for you.
Hopefully that goes well. What's my next one? And I go ghost on like every weekend.
I know you do. Good for you.
Billy Creek is a place. It's called Billy Creek. It's supposed to be really haunted down by Indiana State Sanitarium, ISS. Oh, speaking of daytime, right? We talked about like daytime. So me and Jackie, who's your paranormal, back in January, we went to ISS. Shut the fuck. I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be nice and tell a real story. Okay.
I'm listening.
We went to ISS during the daytime. So this is just an example. Like people think that you don't have to be in nighttime to get. Well, I gotta fix my pants real quick. Sorry. I had to fix my pants, man. And we were in a tunnel system, right? And literally the first time legit in my life, I heard footsteps. Right? And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, it is a daytime. Anyone can come. Let me go see or wait to see if anyone comes. And no one did. And I got this big cold brush of air go past me. And again, it's in a tunnel. So I'm like, it's January. It's like 20 degrees outside. But it wasn't really windy. So I had my digital recorder going, and I was like, was that you who just walked past me? I mean, honestly, I don't know what answers I get, so I go home later and put my headphones on, I'm listening. I specifically went to that point, and literally after that question, you hear, "Is it?"
Love that.
Yo, my favorite pieces of evidence, EVPs, man. Not because it's not explainable. You can explain SLS cameras. You can say REM pods are from interference. You can say like tripwires and SV7 is just a radio. When you're going through and you hear no noise, and you ask a question, and you hear like an answer, there's no explaining it. There's none. That's why EVPs are my thing, hands down, my favorite things to find. And I will say, I've gotten real lazy with doing my digital recorder. I got to get back to listening. I did part of that Ouija board setup I had a digital recorder sitting on top of it as well, recording for an hour. So I'm going to go back and listen to that. How do you feel about orbs? I'll give you I'll tell you how I feel after you. I want to know what your thought is about orbs.
It's mostly dust.
That's it? Okay, good answer. Good, deep, thoughtful fucking answer. Way to put it out there.
I think for the most time they're dust or it's lens. I think nowadays it's hard because it's either it's going to be dust, it's going to be lens flare. I've heard. I don't think I've ever caught one, but like you hear people talk about a ball of light or energy of light. So I just haven't been. Again, I'm mostly outside, so it's hard to catch an orb in the middle of a cemetery during the day. I've gotten not really. I think I've gotten like a squiggly, like a yellow line across a picture or something like that.
Well, you got that one. Remember that one live you had, where it was me, you, and Sin on a live, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was. That was like an apparition almost.
Right. I wouldn't say that was an orb though. That's
not an orby-ish, but no, yeah. But I'm with you on that. Like, I believe in orbs, but I do feel too many people will see dust and say it's an orb. When you can easily say you can easily see like a place is dusty. Like if a place is dusty, I'm not even looking for orbs. But I was at 3 weeks ago, right before Waverly, I went to an old opera house in Kentucky. And it was just me and my friend Sherry, and she was downstairs, and I had gone upstairs over the balcony where the balcony seats were. And I was sitting there, and all of a sudden she goes, she's like, "What was that? What was that?" Like, I just heard fucking talking behind me. And then like 5 seconds, like about 30 seconds later, she's like, "Matt, what the fuck?" Like, I heard fear in her voice. She said she saw a shadow figure, right? So I ran downstairs. So back on my evidence review, like I said, I go back and rewatch my lives. Literally, like when she says, I heard a voice behind me, I bought one of those lamp heads, right? So it can be big flashlight, red or green. I turned a flashlight part on it, right? And I kid you not, there was no dust. I watched the whole fucking live. You can watch it. There was no dust in the opera house all night. This fucking ball, right, from the second row goes up like this, out like that. Literally 5 seconds after she says, "What was that?" Like, I heard someone talk behind. She was like, behind me, like, look behind her.
Yeah.
And that, to me, orb, right?
Orb.
And then one more time, so we were both downstairs. The stage was right behind us. I was looking up out to where the theater was, the seating was. And she went out to smoke, and I just happened to turn my flashlight part of the white on. Ball floating above the seats. I turned my flashlight on, ball took off.
Damn. Well,
I'll tell you what, that's not dust.
Well, the thing too is when you talk about orbs, is like what you were just talking about, like what kind of direction?
Yep.
Are they doing something like weird? Because dust isn't going to go up, right? So like, I think that plays a part of it too. Is like what direction is this orb going in?
And like, I don't know why. Like, I'll see like people do it, or like, you'll see dust moving all night long, and then like oh, that's an orb. Like, no, like even if it's an orb, like no, like I'm sorry, like my rule of thumb for debunking, I have a rule of thumb. If I can explain it away in a non-paranormal way, 2 different ways, paranormal or not, like it's gone. Like, it's not paranormal. Like, I'm sorry, it could be, but it's not. Like, I feel like too many people want it. Too many people in this field. I think social media kills it, because what is popular in social media when you're always getting shit, right? So I think people want things to be there so bad. And I actually got a serious question for you. Do you think if you're getting into ghost hunting, or even maybe an avid ghost hunter, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to a place, let's say like Trans-Allegheny, right? Or anywhere like that it's known to be really haunted, right? Do you think that plays an effect on somebody when they go there, to be more like open to, if something happens, it's automatically paranormal, because in their head that place is so haunted anyway, everything is paranormal. Like, yeah.
Because even I was in, so when I, like, back to me, like there was a group of us at the Lizzie Borden house, and someone would walk, and you'd be like, oh, but then you'd be like, oh wait, no, that's them walking, right? So then you put that piece into it. Are you going by yourself? Are you with a group? And you could easily make it paranormal, but it's not. It's someone just walking around that you weren't paying attention to. And I think, again, if someone's going to Waverly, they think everything might be paranormal when it could just be a raccoon running around because the place is wide open.
Yep. And my buddy Al just said, like, location bias, right? Like, I think location bias plays a huge thing, especially like if someone's new and getting into it. Like, if you hear like winds in a window, like you hear like whistling, or you think you hear a door shut, or like maybe a knock, instead of saying like, okay, let's go find out what that is, it's automatically paranormal. And I heard that point, and I agree with him, from my buddy Zach, Ghostly Travels.
Your buddy?
It's my buddy. We get along. We talk all the time. I've expressed to him that he feels a certain way, and that how I may not agree about him going into chats and expressing his certain point of views. I've talked to him about this. But I do agree, like, he made that point one time, and I wholeheartedly agree. Ope. Sarah said Ope. Is that a name on that? Ope. Is it unspoken names? But no, the point of, he initially, when I first saw him doing that stuff, right, he made that point on one of his lives before, and I actually agree with him on that. Like, I think that type of stuff, when you go to, like, say, the Monroe Demon House and you hear how haunted it is, or like Whisper Estates or stuff like that, or like Lizzie Borden house, like, places that are super haunted or supposed to be super haunted, people go with an open, too much in my opinion, of an open mind.
Could happen, yeah. But it also depends on, are you going with a group? Is it just you? Do you know what I mean? Because I think a group can
Is that
mess up the.
Is that Winston?
That's Winston.
Can we get a Winston sighting?
Well, I'm a pie.
Oh, okay.
Like no, I'm not like a pie, but like he can't get up on where.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Sorry.
Now you're good. Oops, is a bad word on the flight deck. Oh, yeah. But no, like, I don't know. The paranormal field, I will give. People hate on Zach Bagans all the time. All right. But the one thing, and I personally do think that he is a little over the top, and I think that's just TV. But here's where I give him credit. If you watch Zach Bagans from season 1, episode 1, to tonight's season finale of season 29, he's never changed.
No, I think so. I think with Zach, he had to do what he had to do in order to get people to watch
The show.
the Paranormal.
Yeah.
Right? He had to do. Is he a little over the top? Absolutely. But then sometimes he's not, because I've had those moments where I'm like, oh my God, I'm acting like Zach Bagans. I've had those moments where something happens and I'm in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, people are gonna think I'm Zach Bagans. Because I think those things happen. There are a couple of things with that. I think those things happen. I think he's been doing it so long, he could be super sensitive.
Yeah,
right?
I think I don't know the guy. I just heard like he has a lot of fans, and I don't know him personally, and I don't know if he's an asshole or if he thinks he's better than people. I've heard someone tell me personal stories he had with him at Ohio State Reformatory where he was a douche. I don't know. I'll tell you one thing. Like I said, he's never changed. And I love Ghost Hunters. And Ghost Hunters is the reason that I'm even fucking sitting here today talking about the paranormal. All right? But
yeah,
if you watch the correlation from when Ghost Adventures started getting popular, what did Ghost Hunters start doing? They started changing how they did things and how their episodes went. Because you remember first, like Ghost Hunters, when it first came out, you would have episodes where not a goddamn thing happens.
Yeah.
Not a fucking thing. And then Ghost Adventures came out and got popular. And it's like, there's only one group who's never changed how they act. Give credit where credit is due. The man's still on TV. He's the only ghost hunting show on TV. Not streaming services, nothing like that. Like, he is on fucking TV still. He's outlasted all of them. He's doing something right. And you know what? Over the top or not, he's brought the paranormal out so much. Them and Ghost Hunters have. Ghost Hunters is like the founding fathers of doing it. And Zach just elevated, I think, the field more. But yeah. Did you see are you on Twitter? You're on Twitter, right?
No.
But I swear these motherfuckers get bored. So Amy from Ghost Hunters, redhead Amy. You know what I'm talking about? Bruno, yeah, Amy, yeah. Yep. She had made a post and was talking about where the field stands in this day, in like today's age with TV, and how basically the paranormal investigating shows on TV are dead, and how she does a lot of her friends are out of work because of it, and a lot of talking like that, right? And then somehow Nick Goff's name came up because she brought up how the thing between him and Zach, and she was like, she didn't really get into it, but then I guess he must have got word because he was like, you talk about not getting involved, but here you are fucking talking about me. When her whole point, like, I think her point was like, Zach stopped his show and how we shouldn't, Paraunity.
Paraunity again. But honestly though, I think the paranormal went into, and I don't think there's an issue with that. I think it just moved to YouTube. I think that's where people are watching But I can name Project Fear. They haven't changed what they did in Destination Fear. Whatever Zach did to them, again, there's that thing. Zach Bagan's got them, whatever. But how they reacted on Destination Fear is exactly what they're doing on Project Fear, and they have hundreds of episodes. Amy's Crypt, hundreds of episodes on the paranormal.
Is that Amy? Amy. Over there talking about Amy. Like
no,
Redhead. I'm talking about Redhead. You talking about Redhead Amy? Amy Crypt? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Or somebody else. I'm talking about
Amy. No, Amy who developed GhostTube.
Okay.
Her and her husband are on YouTube, hundreds of episodes. There's so many paranormal people on YouTube who are.
Jason Hawes is on YouTube now.
Jason Hawes is on YouTube. Now, why is he doing it? Because he sees Project Fear. Again, those guys are funny as fuck, but their episodes, what I like about them is they goof off for 20 minutes, then they investigate, and they're not running. I mean, sometimes they yell and scream because shit gets scary, but they're not yelling demon all the time. They're not tripping over each other all the time. They're not using the D word all the time. And the same thing with Amy's Crypt is that she goes into places and they're just doing investigations. There's none of this like high level running and getting scratched and all that kind of shit. I think Amy Bruni's issue is that, I shouldn't say her issue, but I think for some people who are on TV, they didn't make that switch to the streaming services where I think that's where people are watching paranormal.
Well, no, but here's the problem. Ghost Adventures didn't make the switch because they don't have to. All those other groups had to figure out where to go, and YouTube is a great, like Jason Hawes and all those big name people who are on TV. You know why they can be successful on YouTube? Because everyone knows who the fuck they are right now. So Jason Hall goes on YouTube, bam, probably has like 2 million subs. But they're not on TV for a reason. That's why I give Zach credit for like season 29. The season finale is airing in like 9 minutes.
You better go watch it. Let's wrap this up.
No, we haven't done this in a while, bro. This is I can like I was telling Mary, but it was getting close. You know, they go to bed early. I could talk all day, man. Like
I know you can.
I would love, and maybe want to talk to Josh, right? Bring one of these times, bring a Thursday 90-10 onto this.
But you had a hard time getting one person on here.
No. For some reason, I had to rush, and for some reason, my audio sometimes gets reset. But hey, my first 10 minutes of Mary's fucking recording last week had no audio, so I'm way ahead of that this week. Baby steps.
You're way ahead. You're making improvements.
So, Jerky Game Promotions. I was a couple episodes of Creepy Canada. I was on a FM James. You're on a couple. I mean, Creepy Canada. Ever heard of that? Is that on YouTube or? Ever heard of Creepy Canada? No, a person in my chat named FM James said I was on a couple episodes of Creepy Canada.
Nice. Well, is it on YouTube? I'll watch it.
Yeah, is that on YouTube? I'll check it out. But
Creepy
Canada. Like I said, I think the problem with social media is what gets clicks is like Sam and Kobe. Speaking of those two motherfuckers, my 2 daughters. I took them when I was home that week. Went down to go see my parents, right? They're like, oh, we're going to watch some TV real quick before we go out, do whatever we're going to do, go to dinner. And they're like, can we watch Sam and Kobe? I'm like, you two little motherfuckers.
Wait a minute.
You watch those two shits, but your own father does it. Like, you don't watch me? What the fuck?
You don't have the hair.
Yeah, true. And they
but again, that goes back to what I was saying. I think, Zach Bagans is great, but I think his demographic is not 18 to 25. I think he's hitting a little higher end, maybe 35 to 50.
Well, I think that's why Sam and Kobe are so.
But Sam and Kobe, Project Fear, Amy's Crypt, they're all those that younger. They almost because. Again, I don't know the whole thing with Project Fear, Destination Fear. I know that Dakota was Zach's camera person and yada.
I watched. I got to like what was it? Season like 11. Yeah. He starts being like his camera kid.
Yes, and then some kind of falling out, blah blah blah. But I think I don't know. I love Project Fear. Those are my dudes. Because without again, Adam Berry was my like. He's the kind of one that was like, I think I can do this. But then when I saw the attitude and how Dakota and his little group and his sister and his buddies kind of conducted themselves, I'm like, I can. That's me. They don't take themselves too serious. They have a good time with it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I will say, like, even when I was on TikTok and my streams here on Kick, I've had a lot of people always compliment the way I do it. Because I mean, there's times where I can have fun.
Yeah.
I'll never use the D word. Like, I don't do the demonic shit. Like,
No, I don't.
I think I don't think there's much demonic. I think it's more like we said, like it's just an evil spirit, angry spirit who was angry and why they were alive and still are angry now. But that shit gets you fucking clicks. Oh, and by the way, that fucking, you ever watch any videos of have you ever heard of Whisper Estates? It's out here in Indiana.
I think I've heard it.
They did a Netflix show on it. There's a fucking door on the second floor, on the second story, that always opens. To the point now where I'm starting to say, like, it's starting to happen way too often to way too many people. So I've been to Whispers 3 times. Last time I went, it did it, right? So when you close that door, you can yank it and it opens. So that's one thing. But then, like, I jumped up and down and it didn't open. And we tried to, debunk it. And we didn't really get a true debunk. You know how it is. Like, if something happens so often to every fucking group that goes there, it's starting to make me think. Like, like,
maybe that's a little ghost trick.
It's the same door every time. I'm just like, is this paranormal? Like, I don't know. I'm not saying it's not, but like, it's just so weird that it happens all the time.
That's just residual.
You think
someone just going through that door over and over and over and over and over and over and over again? I mean, again, I think that's a lot of stuff that happens in the asylums and all that. Is you had people doing the same shit the same years over and over and over again.
No, I 100% agree with you with the asylum stuff. But then there's other stuff like, and this is why like I don't think people like. There's still a lot of people who don't take this shit serious. So like Whispers, and I love Whispers. I'm not knocking Whispers, but they have a Facebook page where they post like people's experience and shit. So I guess like a couple weeks ago they made a post about how they said that the front door slammed, and then in the little girl's room, there's people who have put beach balls, right? And I've seen videos of the beach ball getting, I don't know, it's just a video. It's never happened the 3 times I've been there. But they posted a picture of this beach ball. Like, you have to walk like down steps, and there's a little area, and you come around to go down the hallway to go towards the kitchen. The volleyball was like around the corner, on the bottom of the steps around the corner. Now, mind you, I'm gonna paint this picture for you. You walk up these steps, at the top of the steps, there's a closed door.
Right.
You have to open the door, close it, people close it, walk down a hall into a room where it's sitting on top of the bed thing, right? And they were like, oh, the beach ball got all the way downstairs right here. I'm like, hold on. You're telling me this beach ball picked itself up, walked out the bedroom door, made a hard fucking right, opened the door to the top of the steps, went all the way down, looped around, and said, that's where I'm like, come on. Like, who can take that serious? Even if it really happened, like, a normal person's gonna say, what the, no fucking way. Like, I've been there 3 times and I'm saying no fucking way.
Yeah.
Like, I want that, yeah, like Patricia, I want that beach ball. Like, the beach ball hasn't even moved. I've been there 3 times and it hasn't even fucking, like.
Not even, nothing.
Nothing. I'm not saying, not a thing. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm not Zach, and I'm not having a ghostly travels moment where if it doesn't happen to me, it doesn't happen ever. Love you, Zach.
If it happened to you, it doesn't happen.
But nah, Zach's a cool guy. We've ghost on it. We're gonna do it again. He's cool. We get along.
That's good.
But it's just like, how can people like? a normal person reads that shit. Oh boy, we're losing Anthony. I think Anthony's phone died. Oh, is your phone
Oh
dead?
no!
There you go. You're back.
No, it's charging.
You froze for a minute. I was like, did we lose Anthony?
It's my Wi-Fi. It sucks. What is it?
Oh, but no, shit can't. I can't look at this video taking it. That's just like, the normal common sense person is gonna look at that and be like, the fuck?
No way.
No way. We are still working on manifesting.
No way.
We are still working on manifesting better Wi-Fi. Anthony, what do you got? Fucking AOL dial-up internet, bro? What kind of Wi-Fi do you got?
I gotta feed the little hamster in there.
You gotta feed your spirit. Tell Malachi, whatever your spirit's name is, to start fucking running. But yeah, man, like it's a crazy field.
It is.
There's a lot of good people in it, and there's a lot of fucked up people in it. But we just surf through the good ones. And
look at
we
went through it.
Yeah, look at like you had. I got online today. I was like, I had like 4 new followers, and I'm like, who are these people? Like, like you got your Sin and Sarah. They come and they support. We're not even on TikTok right now. Like,
we're not even on.
Like that is, to me, that is 100% like they love you. They love you, man. Like that's real support, bro.
They're the best. They've been, honestly, they in the lives, they do great mod work, keeping the riffraff out.
I used to do mod work and I got fired. But then I said to myself, nah, I don't mod for Anthony anymore anyway, so.
Well, because you would, no.
Well, I was still in your live the other day. I just stopped talking.
I get you.
So, but yeah, I mean, you're good, bro. I didn't take it personal. I haven't been on TikTok in like 3 months, and and you're live enough to mod anyway, so. But.
So there it is.
Yeah.
Well, bro, it's been 2 hours.
I know, bro. I know. It's about 9 o'clock. It's about your din time.
It's my din time. I gotta feed my belly.
So we gotta get you better internet. Feed the fucking hamster. But overall, hey, I could talk to you every week. Maybe we gotta talk to Josh about bringing a Thursday night into the Discord and going live. Dude, just not on iPads.
If you want, yeah, no fucking iPad.
No iPad.
But dude, once a week, I'll hang out with you once a week. I don't care.
Yeah, man, I love it. Bro, I could talk all day long. I appreciate you. We talked the other day. Like I said, if I never went live ever again in the paranormal world, I'm truly grateful that I found someone like you. And I can't. We're gonna have to figure something out. I don't think I can wait till November 1st to officially meet you. So we'll figure something out. So everyone who doesn't know, Anthony Ghost Guy, he is on TikTok. So make sure you go give him a follow if you have TikTok. He is a very professional cemetery streamer, paranormal investigator, does a lot of great work. And we'll talk.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later, brother.
Later,
Bye. Man. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. So, all right. Well, that was a lot of fun. Anthony the Ghost Guy, man. I met him, I think back like wintertime. We clicked. We get along great. I miss you guys. I'm never going to stream on TikTok again, probably, unless it's like hopping into Anthony or something like that. I do go live on here all the time. I will show you guys support on yours. I'm just not, TikTok just isn't for me anymore. Too much. That's okay. I appreciate you guys coming here. Whenever I go live, my next live is, I'm going to Fleet Week on this week. I might go IRL stream live out in New York. I have an investigation next week if you guys want to come check me out while I'm live. I appreciate you. I appreciate all you guys coming and showing support. I like doing a podcast. If anyone wants to come on and talk about, their paranormal journey, I'm just trying to build this weekly. So everyone is ever interested in getting on, I just drag you in through Discord. I turn the camera on. We just talk paranormal. What got you into it? And your experiences. And I just try to get more paranormal out there, get more people to see other creators who are in the field, to just keep boasting this field up and keep having people who may not be known get their voice out there. Because the paranormal field isn't just all about the big names. There's a lot of other awesome creators out there as well. Yeah, Anthony's really good. He's funny as shit. We used to do things Thursday night called 90% bullshit, 10% paranormal. It's hours of coking, joking, and smoking, laughing, having a good time. And we were almost here for 2 fucking hours. But it was fun. It was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I have one guest next Wednesday, the Indiana Paranormal Society. But like I said, if any of you guys from TikTok want to hop on, talk about your journey in the paranormal field, just send me a message on TikTok. I'll get you set up. That's just how I do it, man. Get you on. It doesn't have to last 2 hours. This lasted 2 hours because me and Anthony go way back. But yeah, so it doesn't have to be. Normally the show would be like an hour. I'm about to raid out, Soul, so don't leave yet. Let's see, who y'all clicked pretty well. Yeah, man, we are awesome. He's a good dude. We're gonna host out. Let's go show some love to, who can I raid out? My man, it's JJ. So let's go show love to JJ. Let him know Dynasty sent you guys. Thanks for hanging out for the Dynasty Paranormal Podcast, episode 2. Episode 3 is next week. I'm hosting out. Go show hashtag Dynasty Paranormal. Let's go show JJ some love. Bye. Make sure you at least go to this stream for me real quick. Just go show JJ some love. Tell him Dynasty sent you. Much love, guys. I am out. I'll see y'all later. Dynasty Paranormal out.